And I think... Are we live? We're live! Webcam's over there. So we're a little late here today. I am very apologizing. There you go. I still have to set up my tablet real quick. What we're going to do today is we're going to make this. Hopefully. But all have a D1 continuous mesh. It's going to have horrible... Well, not horrible topology, probably as well. It's going to have way too many vertices for what it actually is. I might go through and re-apologize at some point in the future. It's a very boring, very annoying task to do, so I might not. But I know that I should. At least if I have to do that, in theory, all the animation work I do as it stands right now, I'm going to just put my keyboard down on the floor real quick. All the animation work I will do with this newly made model should still work with a re-apologized version of what I'm making today. In theory, anyway, I don't know if that's actually the case. But hey, that's what we're doing this for, to learn. I need a fucking USB cable. Got a USB-C cable here. I've got a USB 3 cable, but I need a micro USB cable. Will this one be long enough is the question. The answer is most definitely not. Yeah, that could be somewhat problematic. That is very problematic, as a matter of fact. I know that I have one around here somewhere, but I just don't know where. This seems like the kind of cable I need, but it also still seems a tad bit short. Also, this is the kind of cable I need. It's a micro USB, right? Yeah. So and then we can make that. We can make that. That's not a problem. No, I don't think I have my interface set up for Wacom, whatever you like to call it. On Blender, so let's try to do that real quick by going to, where's my keyboard? There we go. I need a bigger desk for this, is what I need, but that's expensive, so we're not getting that anytime soon. Other applications, Blender. Let's just leave this. People always text me right when I go live. It's the fucking best. I don't think this was a text. I think this was just a notification. This was just a notification. It was not just a notification. Oh, my phone is not on silent. No, it's not. Anyhow, so what we're going to do here today is we're going to, you know what I'm going to do first, again, very ill-prepared here. Could I have been better prepared? Yeah, but I was swinging around lightsabers, and that's just so much more important. Isn't that obvious? Lightsabers are the most fucking important thing in the universe. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just do some live desk reorganization here, so that I can put my keyboard down here without throwing my PlayStation down onto the floor. Hopefully, anyway. Now we have the keyboard here. We've got the tablet. We should have everything we need to work. I can put my mouse to the side because I've got this now. So we should be able to put you a little backwards. There we go. And then we want to start with a new mesh. I mean, I have my phone on silent. It's just... depending on what you define silent as, I suppose. It's not technically, that's also not the right thing. It's not technically on silent, I guess. Just because it's still buzzing. But that's kind of what my phone is always like. So let's just make sure there's a lot of subdivision on this. Yeah, I feel like for the time being, there's going to be enough subdivision. Probably. How do we... Oh, God Damn it, I don't have anything set up. Isn't that great? Isn't that fucking fantastic? So this is going to be click, and with that I think we should be able to move around now that we have G, and then no. How do you move around in Blender to begin? It's middle mouse button. That's what I need, for fuck's sake. I don't need right click. I need middle mouse button. Click, double click, middle click, middle click. I think that's what I need. Let's try. Middle click, middle click. That's what I need. And then if I hold shift, yeah, okay. So I've got my control set up now. Fucking finally. We're going to start off putting this thing up a little higher. I've got my reference over here, obviously. It's going to come out at least slightly differently. First things first, though. Let's try and make sure that these are roughly the same size sphere. Roughly, I say. I mean, the original isn't even a sphere for its head anymore. It's very much deformed. Which is exactly what we're doing here today as well. Okay, so that should be roughly the same size. I really should have done that. Oh, that is orthographic view. Never mind. Okay, it's time to go into sculpt mode, and probably we're not going to get out of sculpt mode for the rest of the stream, because that's just kind of how these kind of things go. I don't know how to like get started with this, right? Because yeah, I know that I need to change one thing, and that's click needs to go back to scroll. How do I do that? Keyboard, tablet, no. Navigation, scroll. Can be pretty fast, I suppose. So if I now use this button, I think I can zoom in and out, right? No? How do you zoom in and out? By scrolling? Oh, but that's scroll click probably, right? Is it? This ain't doing much. That's the downside to getting a new PC set up, is that you need to reset up literally everything. Scroll up, scroll down. That's... We'll probably figure out... Can I not just zoom in with control... Okay, that's just how we're going to zoom in and out for now, because otherwise we're never going to get started. I think I'm just going to get started on the head, and then like make the rough shape of the body and the legs, and then go back and add in the scarf and all the other detailing. But that's just an idea I have right now. So start with the snake hook, I'd say. That's a little strong, maybe. It's a wrong brush. That's what's going wrong here. So we do a little something in this general ID. I do need this to be somewhat... Yeah, exactly. I do need it to be symmetrical, though. So we grab this and radius up. It doesn't matter if it curves a little bit. That only gives it like a little bit more character, is what I'm gonna say, because I can't be bothered to redo what I just did. And then we grab you a little slightly higher radius, slightly lower strength, and make you go down a little. But there is a better way to do that, I think, and that is to use this brush, maybe. I gotta reacquainted with all the brushes. In the meantime, I don't really have any topic of conversation, because the reason I haven't worked on this game so much is because I've been working a lot. And the reason I've been working a lot is because I've been busy with work, obviously. I think this might be what I need. No, that's definitely not what I want. Grab elastic deform. I think this is what I want after all. So let's go to side view maybe. And just lower this radius a bit more again. And then that's kind of getting somewhere, isn't it? That feels like it's kind of getting somewhere. It's a little thin, maybe, on... maybe it can use a little bit more thickness. Am I actually sculpting in, like... symmetrical? No, I'm not. Where do I... No? It's on the y-axis, I think I want it, right? No, it's on the x-axis. It's the very last one I tried, because of course it is. So yeah, you want this to be symmetrical here. At least I want that right now for this. Okay, that's the rough shape of the head. Now on to the body. How much topology do we have? So fucking much. So fucking much. It's kind of insane. I guess we could just like, grab and pull down from here. That kind of works. Right? That kind of works like a charm. It's not great. But it'll do the trick for now. Make the body a little wider. We can always go back and make it a little slimmer again. Make it a little thicker as well. Extend you. Let's see. We want the body to go kind of probably kind of wanted to go in a little more here, right? And we definitely want that to be like we it's kind of difficult because we don't have really any reference for a neck, and obviously we're going to replace that with the scarf pretty soon anyway. At this point you might need a little bit more. We might end up with a totally separate character. More poly is more better. It is when your PC can handle it, and luckily I now have a CPU that can. It's mostly a GPU related thing. Let's just go over that. I mean, obviously I'm not going to run this in the actual game, because that would be fucking... Actually, it's probably not going to be that much lower poly now. I look at it a little closer. Okay, so let's try to pinch this a little. Nah, I don't think the pinch is what we need. That's multiplane, that's why. Maybe we can pinch this a little. And then... inflate the bottom? Will that work? I think that'll work. It's gonna be a little... he's gonna be a little bit of a thick boy for a moment here. But I think this will do what I want it to do. So just give me a moment. Yeah, topology. Holy fuck, that looks horrible. We can fix that probably by just remeshing in a moment. But first, we can probably just try to smooth it out. See, it's flatten, no, scrape, fill, smooth. If we just... oh, no, no, don't do that. Don't ever do that. Anyway. Let's see, that's... getting the cone-like shape is going to be a bit of a bitch, I think. Let's actually go back a bit before I messed up so badly there. And try to work this out a little bit more with the grabbing brush first. Don't press the button while you're doing this, because that's gonna fuck things up real bad. He's got an amazing butt. I'll give him that. Maybe that's the part we need to inflate. Just like inflate the butt a little, so to inflate the butt away, really. And then that we smoothen over, and now he's got a very flat ass crack, so that doesn't really work. Let's just keep going with making the approximate shape and worry about details later. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Probably isn't. Oh yeah, that definitely just did not do what I wanted to do, did it? It could be better, but it could be worse. Can I just like move only that? You can't do that in sculpt mode. That sucks. Well, this kind of works. Man, he's a fat ass. Okay, so what we do now is let's just make a couple of arms, but not be horrible about it. Couple of arms. Okay. He's a fat ghost. Now, I think if we go somewhere around here, dynamic topology still exists. Probably could use that, but I think there is a... Can't we just like F3 and remesh? I don't exactly remember how this works. How do you remesh again? Options. Do you need to be in object mode for that? I remember it being on the top right somewhere around here. Edit, no, view, tool, item. That's the wrong workspace. I don't want to do dynamic topology if I can help it. Let's real quick take to Google and see where the remesh option is again, because I forgot. Blender remesh. Technique automatically rebuilds geometry with a more uniform topology. Remesh can either blah blah blah. Where is it? Wait, it's a mode, all plane mode, tool selection, tool settings, remesh. Tool remesh. Okay. I should not put away chat though. Tools. Where does it? Okay, tool. And there we go, remesh. Voxel size 1 centimeter is probably a bit on the big side. No, it's not. But it didn't really help me now, did it? I mean, it might help me actually. Because now I should be able to go over here and smooth this out a little more. There we go. Okay, now that actually kind of fixed my issue. Just make sure everything around here is a little bit smoothed out. And then we can keep on working. And that's going to be an issue. No, it's not. Never mind. Kind of looks like he's like a knitted dull, which is not what I'm going for at all. So we're getting rid of those seams. Then again, for the hat it doesn't really matter, right? Because the hat is going to be a fabric material anyway. Oh, maybe don't break your chair even more than it's already. God damn it. Broken. I need a new chair as well. I need a better desk. I need a better chair. I've got a better PC. At least there's that. But other than that, there's not a lot of good stuff happening in this office room. And I'm using the word office very generously here. Okay. I am officially out of excuses to have him be a fat dude. So let's start by flattening things out a little, maybe. It's not really... Grab. Let's grab. Grab his butt. If your butt looks like that, you gotta go see your doctor. It's very epic music for a very not epic thing I'm doing. Let's get this in a slightly more T-posy pose. Oh, works well enough. Smooth things out a little maybe to... Oh, that's flattened, that's not smooth. Brushes look a lot alike. Definitely want to flatten the bottom here. This one is allowed to have quite a bit of strength to it. So let's flatten the shit out of this. It's definitely going to help. That shows me that I need a lot more room in the front. Crap. Now we've got a big butt and big, very, very saggy boobs. We can smooth that over, that's not a problem. I said we can smooth that over, that's not a problem. I think my character's just pregnant. These legs definitely also need to go a lot more inward. Let's compare height for like the legs real quick. Cause, oh, that's how we can zoom in and out. Okay, that's good to know. Let's compare height for the legs real quick. So we want to draw a line, which we can do in edit mode, I do believe. Draw a line going from there. That's the height for the legs. That's the height for the arms. And then the shoes we'll worry about later. We might as well just put down lines for how far. Which button is it again? It's this one. How far the tips of the arms go. Which is... roughly something like that, and like that. I mean, that's going to be symmetrical anyway, so it doesn't matter if they don't exactly line up. Sure, okay. Select you, go back into sculpt mode, and maybe it would have been better to like model something first and then start sculpting for the details only. Because at this point, like if I need a blubber monster, I fucking got it. If I need anything else, this is just sad. But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Somehow, some way, at some point. Thing is, I need these lags to be... You know what? Maybe turn off symmetry real quick, because I think that's the thing that's... There's a lot of things that are fucking me, don't get me wrong. But I think that is one of the main things fucking me right now. So turn it off, not turn another one on. I probably should have waited with the lags until I had the skirt done. I realize now, because the lags are kind of getting in the way. Matter of fact, I think I can just smooth away the lags to begin with. So let's just try to do that and then reapply the lags. It's not going to be great, but... yeah, this is probably the fucking worst way to do things. Hold on. Grab that, put that all the way up there. Same with this. And then just try to smooth it into non-existence. Keep forgetting spacebar doesn't do what it does in Photoshop and After Effects, because this is not made by Adobe yet. Okay, smoothing. Again, not an ideal way to do things probably, but it's kind of doing what I wanted to do, strangely enough. And maybe we can flatten things out a little bit as well, right? We can just do like flatten, 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 flatten everything into one big ass. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's really messy, but hopefully if we just remesh in a moment, that'll fix itself. Well, that's kind of a problematic piece over there. Can we like deflate you or something? Maybe if I inflate you first, it'll be easy to deal with you. And now maybe it'll be easier to smooth it inwards, is my hope anyway. It might not be. Yeah, no, that doesn't really help me. So you just need to do a little more grabby stuff. And just flatten the shit out of it as well. I think that's the thing that's going to save me here, is flatten. Because we flatten, we just make things... I'm Dutch. I know how flat things can get, right? I don't know what's up with its apology there, but presumably that'll get fixed in a moment. See? It's fixed. Okay. So we've learned. Make the shape first. And only after that make the arms and the legs. Because this is not a great workflow at all. Let's try to flatten this out as well. Maybe clay thumb. We can. That's probably better, isn't it? Yeah, because now it's all messy. But once we smooth this out, I said once we smooth this out. And then flatten again. Smooth. See, legs are gone. Only took me like fucking 10 minutes to do that. But now, we no longer have legs. So we are literally a floating burlap sack. Looking a little like Oogie Boogie. I'm gonna have to do the same with the arms, I realize. Yeah, that's not great. Can't I just like that? That's posing. That's still a useful, let's see, thumb. This kind of works. I mean, it's not great. Would it have been easier to just Control Z until... Oh, that's way too big of a radius. Would it have been easier to just Control Z and partly start over? Probably, yeah. But it's important to learn how to fix problems as well as like just do proper work, I would say. So this is see, there's a learning opportunity, and not as me just making up excuses for why what I'm doing is not horribly inefficient. Because that is what this is. But that's not what I wanted to look like. Okay. Let's see, that looks a little bit more like it. And we do the same on this side. We flatten things out. Smooth over. We already have like the armholes a little bit, without me meaning to make them. So I mean that's definitely, that was on purpose, right? I made the arms, then I put them back in, and that same geometry is now going towards making the armholes, because that's just how you do it. It's so obvious. It's just, why wouldn't you do that? Anyway, let's go back to the mess we made down here. We flatten. I think we just want to flatten this all. I think that is the best course of action here, is to... No, don't go into render mode. That's definitely... no. Which button did I press before? Oh, it's a control button. That actually makes sense. Let's try to just flatten the shit out of this with a high brush radius. That's kind of doing its job. Yeah, that's kind of doing its job. Not as much as I would like, maybe, but it's actually not too bad. Smooth things out slightly. And we can start grabbing shit again. Maybe with a slightly bigger radius. Starting to look like something resembling a character again. That's not Oogie Boogie. It doesn't have to be 100% like circular like that one is, I don't think. I think there is something to be said about things being a little bit more organic in this version. And I'm not just saying that because it's gonna be hell to make this perfectly circular. It is. But this time I actually honestly mean it as well. That being said, this over here is getting a little pinched. How is the... Yeah, that will be why. How how's about we go remesh again and hope that nothing crashes. I probably should save. We're like half an hour into this, I think. 40 minutes almost. I think it's a good time to save. Okay, so now everything down here should have workable topology again, I think, right? Things need a little bit of smoothing out on the edges here, but it's a lot more workable again. There we go. And now I can grab... I think if I just grab the part here and pull it out a little, that'll probably just fix my problem to begin with. A lot of this is going to be fixed just by using like smooth and flatten brushes, I think, in a moment. So don't you fucking worry about any of that. Because I'm worrying about the fact that if that does not work, I don't know what I'm gonna do at all. Let's see how this looks now. Okay. We definitely need to be a little narrower on the top. And a little wider on the bottom everywhere. Let's see. Now let's smooth things out a little. And let's flatten things a little bit more. Probably should have done that the other way around, I am aware. Maybe it's a little too much of a cone now. I think it's a bit too much of a cone. So let's... And this probably doesn't need to be... I think that's actually pretty decent. Still have no idea how I'm going to make the scarf. I kind of by accident smoothed away the armholes I made. That's fine. Flatten this, might as well. What does that look like? I mean, it's nowhere near as good as the other model. It's kind of the issue. But I'm not animating this one. This one is a fucking nightmare to animate because body parts go all over the fucking place. It's no good. It's no good at all. What I could probably do is do a little bit of this around the edge here. A little bit less than that. To make that edge just a bit sharper. The problem with this part is that it rounds inwards. It should round out and then back up in. So that shouldn't be that difficult to create, I don't think. I need a bigger brush size. Or just to zoom out a little. That also works. How is this thing for symmetry, by the way? Yeah, it could be more symmetrical. Let's see. I can also just use... Yeah, I probably should have done that from the start. Just use this as a guide for the shape. Oh my god, that's up way too high. Yeah, this would have been a good idea to start with. That would have been an amazing idea to start with. Because this is gonna now be slightly problematic to raise up without distorting things a lot. I like this song. I have it for Beat Saber. It's a fucking hell to play on Beat Saber. Admittedly, I've only been playing for about 2 weeks, so I'm not that good yet. But I'm playing levels on like expert to expert plus difficulty at this point, so I'm decent-ish. I think. This is the 3D equivalent of tracing a model. I think it kind of does the job now. That's exactly what I needed it to do. Maybe don't make the radius for this one that big. And smooth things out a little bit. We can do the exact same thing here, right? As far as like the width goes, we can just go into object mode real quick. Don't go into edit mode because this thing has like, yeah, a million faces. And that's not something you want to deal with. So maybe, can we just go back into sculpting mode? Yeah, and then I'll just use my mouse to go into object mode. Pick you up, put you on top there. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but it would be nice if it's at least somewhat accurate. Put you over here, and we'll begin the entire process over again. I should have thought about this from the beginning. Not in edit mode. In sculpt mode, please. Thank you. You know what? For this, actually, having things in symmetry mode is probably a good idea. I have a better idea. If we go back into object mode and we just make a copy of this thing. I don't know why it copied the armature that no longer exists. Can we just make a duplicate? How do we make a duplicate again? That's how we make a duplicate. And we put that one on Again, it doesn't have to be exact, but it would be nice if it were. Line that up. Put you somewhat behind. This way I always have a reference in orthographic mode. And now I can go back into sculpting, go orthographic, and then see that I need to not use my mouse because my scroll wheel is fucking broken. No material preview, no material preview. No material preview. Then we can look into the rough shape of this as well. And now it's starting to look a little bit more like a scarf already. That's a good start. Now let's make this hat a little wider as well. Now, is this the best way to do that? Probably not. I mean, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Definitely not. But it's doing the trick. And now, okay, now the shape kind of looks like... This looks like it's a molten monstrosity. The only thing I'm worried about is like making the actual like round shape of its head again. Well, that's not the only thing I'm worried about. I'm worried about a lot of things. Let's start by taking the scarf out around its entire head. Smoothing things over. Oh no, smoothing things over a little. Somehow this looks better than what we had 20 minutes ago. And that's kind of worrying me. Because... Again, I think we gotta wait with the arms and legs until I have everything else finished. I think that makes the most sense. But that does mean that I really need to start like working on the head now, and that scares me. Okay, how are we gonna start doing that? We definitely need to like make a crease here somewhere around the head. I'm choking my character. Let's reference again. Where should we be roughly? Okay. Smooth this out. We can add in some more like cloth feeling later again, but for now we probably want this to be a little bit smoother. It's good to have the general shape though. This needs to be smooth as fuck. It's maybe a little too smooth. It's mostly too square, really. Layer. I need to figure out how to like make the more sharp edges. Because that seems like it might be a not horrible idea to make into separate objects after all. Separate meshes anyway. I don't know. There should be a crease. Yeah, there we go. That only really works if they're already... Yeah, Strength, maybe. Okay. That kind of does what I needed to do. It's going to require a pretty steady hand. Okay, that's way too much. That's way too little. I can kind of change the shape here. I will put this like inwards later. I can kind of change the shape of the hat here. So we can like just say that this is roughly where the hat ends. And that immediately gives us a decent point for where the scarf should start as well. So that should be somewhere like this, I want to say. And that gives us our little window where we see the face. Okay. And that we should just be able to like it's control for inverting a brush. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. Just scrape that away. And just scrape that away. It's way too square. Needs to be a lot more circular, which I don't actually know how I'm gonna accomplish that. So that's I guess inflating will do that, right? If I just inflate the middle here a bit, that's not the inflating brush. If I just go very high radius on the inflate here, that makes it a lot more. Okay, that's making a lot more. Okay, he's got boobs for eyes. But we can smooth that out. We can smooth that back out a bit. And then go back with the crease. Lower radius. We can go higher strength now. With an even lower radius, because this needs to be a pretty sharp... No, this needs to be pretty sharp. Nope. Nope. Okay. That's a good first try. Going to need to remesh this with a bit more detail in a moment. But this is starting to look like a thing, right? Kind of. Starting to look a little bit like an Among Us character is what it's looking like. Reasoning mostly being... It's too wide, I think. So if I grab and I just increase the radius a bit, push this in a teeny tiny bit. How does that impact things? Not particularly well as what I'm seeing. I'll figure out the scarf and the actual hat later. I need to have the general shape of the hat looking at least somewhat decent before I do anything with that. Because at the moment, again, it's way too much like... he's looking a little sus, is all I'm saying. So we can't really do too much with that right now. And again, things... his face looks like a pillow. I think I know what the issue is. I think what we need to do is there needs to be more overhang and not like recession, if that makes any sense. So we can... maybe like elastic deform this a little more. Probably up the brush size a bit. So if we take the hat like this and then make sure that we keep pushing this back in, which is kind of tricky to do. And then, no. On top as well, pull down the hat a little more. So that's actually got like an edge to it a little more. And then probably... increase the crease, because that's not a confusing sentence at all. In here is probably a good idea. If we increase that, oh, what fucking spacebar! Adobe, I love you, but no, actually I don't. I hate you. You might be saying, but this is Blender. Adobe doesn't make it. No, but Adobe makes everything fucking work with spacebar. And maybe I hate Blender, but I kind of like Blender, and Adobe does a lot of stupid shit. So I hate Adobe more. It's really what it comes down to. So I'm going to blame them for that too. Okay, things are starting to look a little messy as far as like the geometry goes here. So maybe smooth this out a little more. And this might be a not horrible time to... I think we can deal without remeshing for a little longer. And then pull these parts out like, no, like that. Also zoom out, pull out a little like that, and then starting to look a little more like what I want it to be. Okay. We've been going for over an hour and we've got this. This is why I didn't want to get started with this, because I knew that when I got started, it's gonna take like fucking forever to actually make this thing. But I'm quickly running out of excuses to not do this, so let's remash real quick. And let's smooth things out after the remashing. Not too much though. Still gotta be a crease, but doesn't have to be a voxely crease. See, and now it's easier to inset this a little more. Smooth this out. Try to make this maybe a little more round. And then start to curve back down because it's supposed to be a sphere around here-ish. It's not doing it super well, I'll be honest. I think a good way to fix this issue, well, not fix it, but mask it more so, is to like make this crease. Oh, actually, this is improving things significantly. Is to just make a creasy. Oh my god, I didn't think it would improve. Wow. Okay, that makes things so much better instantly. I like that. Okay. Okay. What I was gonna do, and what I'm still gonna do, is pull up the scarf a little. Because if we pull up the scarf a little, it masks out. It masks out like part of the face a bit more. And that's probably a good thing. So it's only the issue of getting the scarf a little closer to the face without distorting the face itself. Mostly on the inside that's an issue. The outside I don't really worry about too much. Maybe we can elastic deform? No, we cannot. That kind of undoes all the work I just did. What the actual fuck happened here? What the actual fuck happened here? Can we salvage this? Hold on. It's probably 2 rebashes in a row that fucked that up, I am guessing. Don't have enough undos to fix that. Easiest way to fix that would probably be to mirror the other side into there, which is probably a good idea to do anyway in a moment here, is mirror. To make sure that left and right are exactly the same. Actually, I don't think that that's necessary. I'm just talking bullshit. Don't listen to me. Okay. Time to make a bit more of a crease around the scarf. On bottom and top side. It's mostly important where the scarf stops and the shirt starts. It's gonna be more creases than that, obviously, because there's going to be creases of the scarf itself. And then we push this in quite a bit, actually. Let's do that with grab. Pull this up a little more as well. Okay, now the scarf is a little too cone-shaped. Probably flatten out these. No, lower radius. These bits a little more. Definitely make this a little flatter. Just like the Earth. Because if you don't know, the Earth is in fact flat. I wonder how many people are going to see this at some point in the future when I'm not live to give context and are going to take me seriously on that. Probably about 0. Because these things don't get watched after the fact, like, at all. Okay. A little smoothing needed on some bits here. Still very weirded out about all this. Can we maybe just like inflate that away? No. I actually quite like its face now. This is bothering me. So I'm going to try and see if I can like just fix by tool auto mirror. I don't have auto mirror enabled. Hold on a quick second. Edit preferences. Add on auto. That's bullshit. I do have it enabled. So where is it? It's an added. It's an added. Auto mirror. It's the wrong way around. Orient negative. Could be worse. I can smooth away that line pretty easily for the most part, and then we can just remesh. Now his hat really looks like a dick. I also just realized that this is also like, yeah, this is Kingdom Hearts music. It's also Toy Story music, the song we're listening to right now. So that's not going to be great because Disney fucking hates people who, well, admittedly steal their stuff. Which they've got some reason to, I suppose. Let's see how our topology is like. That's actually pretty stable, so I'm going to keep going a little while longer. So let's elastic deform, slightly larger radius, and push this in a little more. It's a scarf after all, so it should be at least decently snuggly around the head. And maybe it's not a bad idea to like pull the scarf up a little in some places to have it meet the hat. But that is slightly tricky to accomplish, I will admit. Or maybe it's not. Gonna need a bigger crease here, that's for goddamn sure. Or a deeper crease mostly, is what I'm looking for. Pull you in. Pull this up a little and then try to pull this down again. Maybe pinch some of this a little. That's how you do that. Okay. That's actually kind of great to know. So we pinch this so that gets closer together. Okay, so first you make a crease and then you pinch that crease to make that border harder. So then we try to pinch this one as well. Let's see how that goes. Oh, that's doing something. That's doing what we needed to do, I think. Okay, let's grab this and bring it in a little closer again. It's mostly because this scarf bit on the front is actually pretty damn decent now. It's just looking a little bumpy, but if I can smooth this out a little, I think this is a decent base to work from. I think it is. Let's try to... What was it? It was pinch, right? Nope. This is pinch. But we can also like use this a little bit because that's definitely gonna help. Okay, let's make the creases down here a little harder again. And then I think we've got a pretty decent base for the body. And then pretty soon we can maybe start to, let's see, pinch, right? No, pinch. And pretty soon we can maybe start to worry about like the arms and the legs and stuff like that. I am not unhappy with this. I'm not like mega proud of it either. But I'm not unhappy. And that's... I want to say a pretty decent start. It's probably going to be like a project that I work on. I very much wanted to have this be a project that I just like start up and at least have something workable by the end of this. Been working on this for an hour and 20 minutes. We're not going to finish it. I'll tell you that much for free. And I think we've got mostly everything we can do now. I mean, I can work on the bottom part here a little again and try to like flatten this out. Not that it matters too much how flat this is, because this is going to be unlit material anyway. But it's nice to have it be somewhat flat. And then grab. Let's see as far as like the height of the dress, the skirt or whatever it is goes. Should be at least somewhat equal. And then from this perspective, also have it at least somewhat equal. Have it slope a little more gradually, especially in the front. The scarf in the original does go a lot more. I don't know, I kind of like the way it is now as well. It's definitely something that I'm not going to make like a final call on right now. This is definitely the type of thing that you want to look at with a fresh with a fresh eye before you make a decision on it, I think. Touching up some of the dress. Having this be a little flatter probably can't hurt, because that's where the arms are going to come out. Then what happens if we flatten this again? Does that mess with the edges of the dress at all? No, it does not. I think we've got something pretty decent at this point. That definitely needs to be smoothed out now. Let's try to just do a little light smoothing of everything around here. Actually, let's remesh the entire thing and then smooth things out. Just so that we know that everything is decently topologized for when we continue. How is that? We're going to... Probably should have just done remeshing. Yeah, now I'm just smoothing everything away. Let's see if we can maybe remesh on 0.4 centimeters. Again, definitely going to need to like do a lot of work to make this game ready. Because at this point it's got 3.5 million faces. Yeah, that's not going to run too well, I don't think, in Unreal. I have a vague feeling that that's going to be slightly problematic. So we'll have to figure that out when that time comes. But for the time being, for modeling, this is kind of great. Maybe I can just still pinch this. See how that? No, maybe I can just crease this. Nah, I definitely need to smooth it out first. It's not too big a deal. It's just kind of tedious to do, is all. Crease doesn't need to be that big either, so if it like lowers the amount of crease in some parts, it's not that big a deal. Especially down here where there's only going to be shadow ever. Nobody's ever going to see that part. I say now. Before I forget to go back here and add in a crease again, let's add in the crease here. That was a pretty good brush stroke. I'm getting better at doing decent like brush strokes, which is a skill in and of itself, which I, at least up until this point, have not possessed. But I'm getting better at it. Slowly, but surely, but I'm getting better at it. It's pretty necessary what I'm doing at this point. Nah, once this thing is textured, you're not going to even like see this, and it's going to get like retopologized like 5 million times first anyway. So I might as well just actually leave it alone, but what are you going to do? Just touching up some things before I end the stream. I'm not going to start with a new part of the body. So if anybody's watching at this point and is like, oh, when is he going to continue with the button? I'm not. At least not today. Why did you zoom me in all the way there? Like, for real, actually? I am much confused. Don't go into edit mode with 3.5 million faces! Yeah, that's how you crash Blender. Don't fucking do that. That does remind me though that I probably should save. I did. Okay. Even the fact that the head is a little bumpy doesn't really bother me that much. I think it actually kind of is nice. In some places, not everywhere. Like over here, for instance, we definitely want to have you a little slimmer and a little smoother. I think that's pretty neat. The face, however, definitely does need to be smooth. Like, as smooth as we can get it. The fact that all the cloth-based things are a little bumpy doesn't bother me. Face definitely needs to be smooth. Also, this crease definitely needs to be like a little, maybe not that big. Nope. It's a little better. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there for the time being. I'm going to swing a little more lightsaber action in VR. And hopefully next week there will be a devlog again. If not, we'll probably be continuing this if I haven't continued it off screen, which I probably haven't, because as you can see, an hour and a half I spent doing this. And I still need arms and legs and boots and gloves. I do wonder what he's going to look like by the end of this, because it's definitely going to be very much like similar but different. Question is it going to be better or worse? Because there is a certain charm to the model I have right now in what it looks like. I feel like this is going to feel more high detail, but in it being more high detail, it also means that it has to be more high detail and high quality across the board. And there is a certain charm to things being more simplistic. And when things are more simplistic, you take for granted that the textures, for instance, are also less complex and less high quality, maybe. And that's definitely something that I'm going to have to figure out here. But it's a fun project. Anyway, we'll be back at some point with more content regarding this. For now, again, it's time for me to go kill some droids.